Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating plunge into the global mobile market.
It really is fascinating.
And, when we talk about mobile, we mean more than just the phones, right? It's
Okay.
like the digital heartbeat of the world.
Exactly. It's all about innovation, communication, connectivity. It's changing everything.
Totally. And our insights today, they come from this really comprehensive report, Global Mobile Market, 2025 Trends and Projections.
A solid source.
So our mission here is basically to give you a shortcut.
Mhm.
We want to boil down what you need to know about where the market is now, where it's going.
And what it means for you.
Precisely. Whether you're prepping for a meeting or just curious about this massive field. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. And maybe start with the scale, because the numbers themselves are, well, mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling is the right word. Okay, just to set the scene. Back in 2021, the global mobile market had already pulled in, $679 billion in sales revenue?
Yeah, billion with a B. A huge number to start.
But that's just the beginning, right? That's like the tip of the iceberg.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is how that strong growth, it just highlights how much we rely on mobile tech everywhere, developed markets, emerging markets.
Right.
So that $679 billion, it grew to over $800 billion last year, 2025.
Okay.
And the projections, they show it blowing past $1.18 trillion. That's trillion with a T.
Wow. By when?
By 2033. And the growth rate, the CAGR, it's nearly 4.8% per year.
So it's not just growing, it's actually speeding up.
Exactly. It's accelerating. It just shows how central mobile is becoming to, well, everything. Our lives, the economy.
$1 trillion market by 2033. That's almost double where it was just back in 2021. Incredible. But this growth isn't the same everywhere, is it? Some places are really rocketing ahead.
That's right. It varies quite a bit.
So where are these billions flowing? Let's break it down region by region. Maybe start with North America.
Okay, North America. It's a picture of a very steady, kind of robust climb. Already a huge market, nearly $195 billion back in 2021.
Right.
And that's projected to grow to over $318 billion by 2033. The CAGR is just over 4%, so consistent expansion.
And the U.S. is the big player there, I
Oh,
assume.
absolutely, as you'd expect.
The leader.
The U.S. leads the way. It went from about $161 billion in 21
Okay.
and is projected to head over $260 billion by 2033.
Still massive growth. But I noticed in the numbers, Canada's growth rate, the CAGR, it's a bit higher, around 5%.
Yeah, that's a good spot. It is slightly higher.
Any thoughts on why?
Well, it could be a few things. The U.S. market is, more mature. Canada might have maybe slightly faster smartphone adoption in certain groups, or perhaps a quicker uptake of some new mobile services.
Interesting.
Just enough to nudge that growth rate up a bit compared to its bigger neighbor. Mexico also shows solid growth, by the way, projected to reach nearly $26 billion by 2033. Increasing digital access is a big driver there.
Okay, makes sense. Now let's hop across the Atlantic. Europe, also a big market. Over $160 billion in 2021. Where's that heading?
Europe's also expanding solidly. It's forecasted to reach about $268 billion by 2033.
Okay.
But Europe is really a collection of diverse growth stories. It's not one single picture.
Right, different countries, different speeds.
Exactly. Take Germany, for instance. It really stands out. Strong CAGR over 5%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, projected to hit nearly $57 billion by 2033. You see strong economic factors, ongoing digital transformation there.
And the UK?
The UK also shows solid growth, expected to hit over $45 billion. France, heading towards over $30 billion. Italy, over $26 billion. Spain, nearly $22 billion. Strong, consistent growth in many places.
Are there any outliers?
Yeah.
Or maybe slower growth areas?
Well, yeah, if you look at Russia, for example, the CAGR is more modest. It's below 3%. That slower pace could be down to different market dynamics, maybe infrastructure rollout, maybe specific economic policies. It's hard to say for sure from just this data. But overall, Europe's very diverse. You've got significant contributions from Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland. Even Luxembourg adds nearly $2 billion. And the rest of Europe category is also expanding quite impressively.
Okay, fascinating mix there. But now, here's where it gets really interesting, right? Asia Pacific.
Ah, yes, the global growth engine.
That's what they call it. Leading worldwide growth, CAGR of almost 5.4%. That's huge.
It really is. The numbers are staggering. From around $250 billion in 2021,
Yeah.
projected to hit $469 billion by 2033, almost $500 billion just in that region.
Incredible. What's driving that kind of explosive growth?
Well, it's a mix. You've got massive populations, obviously. Then
Yeah.
there's the increasing affordability of smartphones.
Right.
And also this leapfrogging effect. For millions of people, mobile isn't just one way to get online, it's the only way.
Primary internet access.
Exactly. China, no surprise, is the biggest contributor in dollar terms, heading towards nearly $140 billion by 2033.
Okay.
But if you're talking about sheer acceleration, the real story is India.
India's growth rate is phenomenal, isn't it?
Okay.
I saw that number.
Absolutely. It's one of the strongest AGRs anywhere in the world, over 6.1%.
Wow.
So its market was around $37 billion in 2021. That's projected to more than double. Over $76 billion by 2033.
Doubling in that time frame.
Yeah. And it's not just more phones. It's a massive boom in mobile-first services payments, e-commerce, education, entertainment. It's fundamentally changing society there at incredible speed.
A real transformation.
Totally. And beyond those two giants, Japan is still a major player. South Korea, Australia, Singapore, all showing robust growth. Singapore's CAGR is actually close to 6% too.
Right.
And Southeast Asia as a whole subregion, also growing incredibly fast, over 6% CAGR. Then you have Taiwan hitting over $17 billion, the rest of APAC adding another $45 billion plus.
Yeah.
It's just growth across the board.
So yeah, while some markets are maturing, APAC is really hitting its stride. Okay, moving on. South America. Seeing rising connectivity there too?
Yes, definitely. South America is projected to nearly double its market size as well, from about $36 billion in 2021 to over $65 billion by 2033.
And who's leading there?
Brazil leads the region, projected to hit over $26 billion. But Argentina's growth rate is actually quite strong, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah, a CGR of almost 5.7%, on track to double its market to over $11 billion. You also see steady increases in places like Colombia, Peru, Chile. It reflects that growing smartphone penetration and expansion of mobile services across the continent.
Good to see. Okay, two more regions. The Middle East, seeing some strategic growth.
Definitely strategic growth. The Middle East is growing strongly, CGR over 5%. Market revenue going from around $21 billion in 21 to over $38 billion by 2033.
And the key players.
Saudi Arabia is leading, followed closely by the UAE and Turkey. The UAE alone is projected to reach over $7.5 billion. Turkey not far behind.
What's driving that?
Well, you've got expanding digital infrastructure, these ambitious smart city projects.
Right, like in Dubai and elsewhere.
Exactly. And just a generally young, growing, digitally savvy consumer base.
Makes sense. Okay, finally, Africa. Huge potential there, often talked about as the next frontier.
It holds immense emerging market potential, absolutely. The continent as a whole is set for significant growth, from around $15.6 billion in 2021 to over $28 million by 2033. The CAGR is a solid 4.15%.
And within Africa?
Nigeria leads the continent in terms of where it's heading, moving from about $2.7 billion towards nearly $5 billion by 2033. South Africa is also a substantial player, projected to reach over $11 billion.
Okay.
And the rest of Africa adds another significant chunk, over $12 billion. It really underscores that expansion of mobile access, often, again, leapfrogging older infrastructure. Mobile is just foundational for development and connection there.
A truly global story of growth, then.
Absolutely. So if we connect this all to the bigger picture, it's clear, isn't it? The global mobile market isn't just expanding, it's accelerating, it's picking up pace. Billions, actually trillions, in projected growth across every single continent. Mobile tech is just fundamentally shaping the global digital economy, our daily lives, everything.
Driven by innovation, affordability, connectivity.
All of it. The mobile industry is just, well, it's poised for an incredibly dynamic and, frankly, profitable future. It's transforming how we interact with the world.
And that sums it up brilliantly, a truly transformative force.
Yeah.
So thinking about all this, what does it all mean for you listening in, and maybe more pointedly, given this incredible trajectory of growth and transformation we've just discussed, what aspect of our daily lives do you think mobile technology is poised to redefine next?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at, something pretty fascinating, the global mobile market. It's this incredible engine of innovation, always expanding, but it's also hitting some serious roadblocks. Even while it's basically becoming how we all connect, work, live. It's a real paradox.
Mhm.
So our plan today is to really unpack what's behind that explosive growth and also look at the maybe unexpected challenges it's facing now. And then maybe the most interesting part, the trends shaping what comes next. We've gone through the sources, and the goal is to pull out the key insights for you. Sort of a shortcut to getting up to speed on this huge industry. Ready? Let's dive in. Okay, so let's unpack this. This incredible growth we see, what's really, really fueling it? Because it feels like this constant race, manufacturers always trying to outdo each other. How does that actually, drive demand?
Yeah, it's relentless. And what's really key is how these tech advances, we're talking faster chips, amazing cameras, now foldable screens, 5G everywhere, they basically shrink the innovation cycle, stuff that was super high-end last year.
Right.
It's standard now, even in mid-range phones. And this rapid sort of commoditization, it pushes prices down, which is great for access, but it also creates this intense pressure on manufacturers. Still, that constant need to upgrade or just the desire for the new features, it fuels growth in, well, both the fancy flagship phones and the more affordable ones.
Okay, I see how that constant chase for the new keeps people buying. But you mentioned access. What about just basic internet access becoming so widespread? Smartphones feel less like a luxury and more like, I don't know, a utility now. How is that shift really playing out, especially maybe in places just getting online?
That's a huge piece of the puzzle. Because as internet access spreads, especially in, say, developing economies, smartphones often aren't just one way to get online. For millions, they're the only way.
Ah, right. Mobile first.
Exactly. Mobile first. And that changes everything. Think mobile banking, getting access to education online, local e-commerce booming, streaming entertainment. It becomes the absolute gateway to the digital world. And this really clicks with, younger people, urban populations. It's given demand a massive global boost.
That makes sense. The phone is the internet for so many. Beyond just access, though, what about the bigger picture? The global economy. Are there like wider economic shifts changing who can even afford these things?
Oh, absolutely. A huge accelerator is the growing middle class globally.
Okay.
Particularly if you look at Asia Pacific, Africa, Latin America, you've got more people with more disposable income.
Yeah.
Combine that with more affordable phones coming out from, budget-focused brands.
Yeah.
And things like payment plans, financing options. It just makes it much easier for people to jump from a basic old phone to a proper smartphone. Millions are making that switch, eager to get connected, everything we just talked about.
So we've got tech pushing things forward, internet access pulling people in, and rising incomes making it possible. That's a powerful combination for growth. But, like we said at the start, it's not all smooth sailing. Growth like this, it usually creates its own problems, right? So if those are the tailwinds, what are the big headwinds? What challenges is the market really grappling with? Maybe because it's been so successful.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. One of the biggest is simply market saturation, especially in developed markets. Think North America, Western Europe.
Right.
Pretty much everyone who wants a smartphone already has one.
Right. Makes sense.
So growth there isn't really about new users anymore. It's about convincing people to upgrade, maybe buy a more premium model.
Yeah.
And that replacement cycle naturally means growth slows down compared to those markets where lots of people are still buying their first smartphone.
Okay, saturation in mature markets and elsewhere. The competition just seems intense, feels very crowded. What does that actually mean on the ground for the companies making the phones and for us, the consumers?
Oh, it's incredibly crowded. You've got the huge global name, Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, but also strong local players in many regions. They're all fighting for shelf space, for attention, often with devices that, let's be honest, have pretty similar features at different price points.
Yeah.
This leads to brutal competition. Margins get squeezed really thin, constant price wars. And for consumers, well, it often means price becomes a huge factor, maybe more than brand loyalty sometimes.
So you shop around more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which means for the companies, just having a good product isn't enough. You need constant innovation, yes, but also really smart, aggressive marketing just to survive. It's cutthroat.
And it's not just market dynamics, right? We keep hearing about global supply chains causing headaches everywhere. How does that specifically impact getting phones, actually into our hands? What are the real world effects?
Right. These aren't just abstract problems. We're talking about very specific things like shortages of, say, semiconductors needed for power management or display drivers. These might be relatively cheap components, but if you can't get them, you can't build the phone, period. Even a $1,000 flagship. So these shortages, plus shipping delays, logistical tangles, they can push back launch dates significantly.
Right. You hear about phones being announced, but then hard to buy for months.
Exactly. It increases costs for the manufacturer, leads to those frustrating out-of-stock notices, especially around busy times like holidays. Managing this supply chain chaos has become, well, a massive critical challenge for all the manufacturers.
Wow, okay. That really paints a picture of the pressures. Let's shift gears a bit and look forward. Despite the challenges, there's always new stuff happening. What are the big exciting trends you see really shaping the mobile world future?
Well, one of the most obvious and impactful is definitely the continued rollout and adoption of 5G.
Right, faster speeds.
Yes, faster speeds, but it's more than just that. 5G's lower latency and higher capacity enable things that weren't really practical before on mobile. Think high-fidelity cloud gaming without lag, or more complex augmented reality applications, even industrial uses for remote control and monitoring.
Okay, so new types of experiences.
Precisely. Consumers want that faster, smoother experience for gaming, streaming, everything. So manufacturers are putting 5G into phones at basically all price points now.
Yeah.
It's really changing the competitive landscape again and driving innovation.
Interesting. And beyond just the tech specs, like speed, what about other values?
Yeah.
Sustainability seems to be popping up everywhere. Is that hitting the mobile industry too?
Oh, definitely. It's becoming a really significant factor. There's growing awareness, both from consumers and brands, about the environmental impact.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a real push towards using more recycled materials in phones and packaging, designing for easier repair, maybe, and much better programs for taking back old devices to recycle them properly.
So it's actually influencing design and business models.
Absolutely. It's becoming a real selling point. For some consumers, it's a deciding factor. It signals responsible innovation, and brands are definitely highlighting their green credentials now.
Okay, that's a positive shift. Now, what about the really futuristic stuff? Foldable phones, multi-screen devices. They look cool, but are they more than just a gimmick?
Huh. Well, they certainly felt like science fiction just a few years ago.
Right.
But what's interesting is how they're starting to solve a real problem.
Yeah.
People want bigger screens for multitasking, for watching videos, but they still want a device that fits in their pocket.
Yeah, the tablet in your pocket idea.
Exactly. Foldables and similar concepts offer that larger display in a compact form. Now, are they mainstream yet? No. They're still mostly high-end, pretty expensive. But the technologies are maturing, the manufacturing is getting better, and you can see the prices starting to slowly creep down. It's genuinely opening up new ideas about what a phone can even be, a whole new category.
It's fascinating to watch that evolve. Well, that brings us pretty much to the end of our deep dive today. It's clear the mobile market is just this incredibly dynamic space, constant change, relentless innovation. It's really the core of it all. And, as you think about your own phone and how central it is, here's something to ponder. Beyond 5G, sustainability, foldables, what do you think the next truly big shift might be? What's that next groundbreaking innovation we haven't even really touched on today, and how could it change how you use this technology every single day? Something to think about.